All right, I'm just gonna make this video again. So these fucking losers are people that don't know me from a bar or soap, but felt entitled to involve themselves into my life. An ex-boyfriend's an ex-boyfriend. An ex-fuck's an ex-fuck. I wouldn't even accept it from my own family. And with my own family, there is family members that don't know from one side to the next, like the ones on the Central Coast as well. Hang on, let me look up something here. So the ones on the Central Coast, for example, dad's other sister's children doesn't know. Oh, look, I'm not even going to get into that. Jesus Christ. Let me check my emails. You've got... Oh, look, I don't give a shit, because what I've said is the truth, and I will take my own family to court if I have to. But better yet, who are these people that thought they were entitled to get involved? And I even said this about Sam Delati. It's like, okay, I don't have anything wrong with him, but we haven't actually really socialised much since 2003, and I'm not being nasty here. Things change. We dated back from, well, it was after August, because I only first met him around August 2001. It was around Big Brother finale. And that's when I first met him. I'd been working at the casino for about 6 months before I met him. And then I left him before Pop passed away in Concord Hospital, which was November... Oops, that's my documents. I'm looking for something while I'm doing this video. November 2002. I don't have... this weird stuff. I don't have a problem with people. I've got problems with people involving themselves and opening their mouth up when they don't know what they're talking about and should mind their own business. Let me just grab the document. So, and the problem is so many people have actually spoken and say, look, what you've said is incorrect. You've just grabbed hold of things, and then it's like, where'd you get your information from? What, my mother, Carol, which is trying to push her own narrative and agenda, or from who else? Because I really am some person, if you knew me, that doesn't stand for it. Really, and you would know that I don't stand for it. That type of behaviour. So then why do it? So if you say you know me, then you would also know that I don't stand for that behaviour. So you wouldn't be doing that behaviour towards me. I just want to read something here. So I've got all the laws here. But look, with the Crimes Act of... And I did grow up in a legal family, whichever way my mum likes it or not. But you've got to remember, growing up as a kid in the 80s, when mum still worked since she was 15 for Ian Scholback, and was a paralegal there. And Margie Clay was mum's junior secretary. And we grew up around barristers and so forth, which we did. We grew up around barristers. Ian Scholback was like an uncle to us, which Amanda obviously forgets everything. Of course she does. She only remembers what the bubble tells her. Carol, our mother, puts her in a little bubble. Amanda is Carol and Marianne's puppet on a string. Their minion. So look, and always has been. Where it gets tiresome after a while of having to repeat yourself with Amanda. So I was like, yeah, look, And it's the same. Amanda's so much like... Oh, when you look at dads, oh God, I'm so glad Dad doesn't have anything to do with Aunt Sandra's children, because they fucking like their father, the fucking Johnsons. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Rebecca LeMay doesn't know her left foot from her fucking right foot. She's a fucking idiot. Seriously, she's a fucking idiot. On the Central Coast. Anyway. So look, as I've brought up with fraud and so forth, well, yeah, if you... Okay, in Australia and also in the US, if you... you can be charged with fraud even if you don't gain anything financial from it. So there's, I can't think what it's called, but it's where you haven't gained any financial advantage, you can still be tried as fraud. And if there's been no damage, it depends how the jail centers work. But if I can stand up and say, well, I can prove that someone else's fraud damaged my life. A great example is, okay, yes, I was mugged and robbed on my way home from work. That's correct. And those documents are going to go through the Department of Foreign Affairs as well and be investigated, because that's what I've asked for. But also, it was a bad injury. Sure, it was a bad injury. But don't twist it around to be something it's not either. So don't underestimate it and don't over twist it to something else that's not. I'll speak for myself. Thank you very much. I don't need people making up stories, which is what they've all done. So it's like, good on you. Your made up stories are fraud. For number one, they're defamation. Well, it's a criminal defamation because you can ask, Baxter, you can ask a magistrate to hear something outside of civil in Australia. So if I say it's criminal defamation, which means the criminal charge applies to defamation, not the civil charge, which is what I've tried to get police to understand. It's like, seriously, do you not research? Do you not read the New South Wales Police Handbook or something? Don't you research? Don't you know the legal system? Because we are the only state in Australia that has criminal defamation. Okay, and criminal defamation, depending on how a magistrate will view it, if I can prove that, because defamation, you've got to prove that it's damaged your life. Well, if someone's saying something untrue about me and I can prove X amount of damages, then it has, and if I ask to have that, hang on, my dog wants to eat. Baxter, can you go on to bed yourself if I'm lifting you up? What are you doing? So if I can prove then that someone else's wrong information damaged not only my credibility, but my health, then I can ask for an extra charge on top of the criminal defamation because it led to A, B, and C. So your false information, so your criminal defamation led to reckless endangerment of my health. There's another charge to be added to that. And the third charge is if I say it's financially disadvantaged me. If your lies about me financially disadvantaged me, if you denied me the truth or stopped me work, which is what happened in the last 9 years. And I want that heard as a fraud matter because in the state of New South Wales, if you financially disadvantage somebody in any way, that is a fraud charge that carries. So you can view, it's not just one charge. So a police officer doesn't just, it's criminal defamation. It's like, no, it's criminal defamation that led to reckless endangerment, that led to privacy invasion, confidentiality laws broken, prior laws, which is the 3 months jail sentence, so that gets added on as well. That led to fraud. Okay, and that's exactly what I'm asking for. And I'm not a person to ever back down. I don't need friends or family. I will put my own twin sister in jail, and I will. And no one can turn around and say that I've ever been any different because, no, I haven't. You've got to be taught a good lesson. If you think you're an entitled person to interfere in my life, then I'll teach you a really good lesson and teach you just how little you mean to me. And I'll do that. And I'll be happily doing that. So and that's the thing. So again, with the, if you want to talk about fraud, looking at the Crimes Act 1900 section 192, I think 192E of the Crimes Act with fraud. Yep, 192E of the Crimes Act with fraud, and offense of fraud can be if you have financially disadvantaged somebody. So I was financially disadvantaged through criminal defamation. Oh God, I really. If you truly knew me, you would be like, yeah, I wouldn't interfere in Justin's life. If you start interfering in his life and it costs him money, he's going to come after you. He's not someone that really is, and I'm not, somebody that is really hung up on people. Seriously, I've always left all my partners because I just don't really, I'm not somebody that actually, I've said this many times before. Relationships don't mean anything to me. Seriously, you can have sex and drop a hat if you want. Like, really, being homosexual, I don't need a relationship. Money, assets, and belongings. Money's the only currency, and I don't do anything criminal. To get my money, I worked my ass off. And as what I've said, you got family members that don't know one side to the next. It's like, then why deny it? You didn't know. Didn't say, I didn't know that about Uncle Fred, Leo Patrick Sayer. Why stand there and say, no? I'm like, no, it's not no. What I've said about Uncle Fred's right. And when I'm trying to publish Uncle Fred's photography work, and I'm trying to publish his photography work when he was living in Bellevue Hill, don't sit back and say no when I'm trying to get his work published. Because then that's financially disadvantaged to me as well. And you're sitting back going, oh no, that's not right. It's like, no, it is right. It is right. Because his nephew, which is Gary Williams, so the Williams on my mother's side, lived in Bellevue Hill, and we all know this. I mean, you can even go up to, I think, was it Chick and Sharon Newcomb? They moved from Empire Bay, which their son lived, so down where Dad lives, down near the water, at Empire Bay, that little, I think I might have even drove Mark Hanna past it once. I shouldn't have shown Mark Hanna where my family lived because he's a little fuckwit, little free prostitute, dickhead, All these fucking losers are all connected anyway. Fucking entitled pricks of immigrants. I can say that because my grandfather was. Well, he's not entitled, but different people back in those days. According to the documents, even the Australian records, Stanley Fleming had no country or place of birth. They have no idea where he came from. But anyway, different types of people, different types of immigrants. From grandparents and great grandparents to the entitled pricks now. Anyway, Sharon Newcomb, which is my mother's cousin. It's mum's auntie Mari. So my nana Lola's sister Mari, her first daughter. They had different fathers. So her first daughter Sharon Sharon Newcomb and Chick Newcomb lived down the road from Dad's in Empire Bay, and it was this beautiful little house, sort of little cottage style house. And next, about 2 doors down, was her son Sean, and he had the massive big mansion that was down on the bay. When Cherie Newcomb, who married a Murphy, when she moved up near Foster, that area, or the beach area up near Foster, so did her mother, which is mum's cousin. Long-winded story to get around to the point, but the point is Sharon and Chick Newcombs are one of the ones that last ones to have gone to my nan's auntie's house in Bellevue Hill. So I'm trying to think when it was sold. Oh, look at what mum's cousin who still lives in Leichhardt, which is the police officer, or ex-police officer, which is a Keegan. So you're talking about little Brian Keegan. He would have been about 10 years of age when that place was sold. I guess before I was born, because Gary Williams, he's lived his life out in Bondi. I don't even know if he's still in Bondi. Don't even know if he's alive. I haven't seen him since Margaret Keegan's funeral in Balmain. Margaret Creek. That's what I mean. These fucking wankers are people like Sam Delati, John Tataro, these fucking dickheads that move into the area. It's like, you're a fucking dickhead. I've made a comment like this. They're fucking wankers. They've moved into an area where my family's got a long heritage and history, and they've moved in years later, and I've met these people, and I'm like, oh yeah, well my nan lived around there, mum's cousin's still down there, and my grandfather, and they just thought I was making up. It's like, you're a fucking dickhead. And then they wonder why I don't like him. It's like, because you're a fucking dickhead. You moved into an area where my family heritage and history, where I'm indigenous to. You moved into my indigenous area, and you're a fucking wanker. Johnny Tataro is a fucking wanker. He fucking is. He's a fucking dickhead. Seriously, don't ever call me a friend again. I swear, if I ever see that fucking Johnny Tataro again, I'll fucking smack him in the mouth. Fucking Mennings knew my friggin' grandfather's family. They're fucking wankers, these people. They walk around like they're from Sydney. It's like, mate, you moved. You moved to an area where Reginald George Purdy's from, Raymond Purdy's from, Keith Purdy's from, my family, Arthur Keegan, Marianne Sayer, my family are all indigenous to this fucking area. Going back, I grew up going here to 43 Piper Street to my great-grandmother's house, Nan's house, which was owned by her brother, Leo Patrick Sayer. You're a fucking tosser. I can go back, and they wonder why in the last 9 years, I'm like, oh, that fucking wanker. 23 years ago, I was saying to this dickhead about my nan there, and they're like, oh, sure. I'm like, what are you fucking sure? Where the fuck do you think my nan's from, you fucking loser? Oh, they're fucking wankers of people. They really are. They're the biggest the Delatis, the fucking wankers. They can't fucking even speak English, and they can't even fucking speak Italian. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be that nasty, but you get to a point in life where you're like, oh, fuck off with your bullshit. Your mother's from Queensland. And I mean that nice. I mean that nice where I'm like, man, I don't have the patience for you. Like, seriously, because when you turn around and you have no idea where my family's from, and all idiots can say is, oh, his family's from Tamworth. It's like, no, my family's not from Tamworth. We never heard of the place before 1989. My family has to be from somewhere before 1989. I was 10, so where's my family from? Because you're grasping at straws. And that's what they did in the last 9 years. And they're going, no, they're fucking not. They're not. And even my dad would stand there and go, fuck off. Carol moved there with her second husband and starts telling everybody, oh, you've got to move here because I've done it. That's what she did. Mum moved there with her second husband, got bored because she didn't have her family with her because all of our family was still in Sydney, and starts telling everyone, oh, you've got to move here. It's like, no, thanks very much. You moved there with your second husband. Go and enjoy it. Oh, that's exactly what happened. And even my dad, Mark Fleming, would say, oh yeah, she's a fucking idiot. She went for a holiday, brought a house, then everyone's got to copy her. Go, oh, well, Carol's changed her lifestyle. Let's all change our bloody lifestyle. No, get fucked. Seriously, get fucked. That's what she does all the time, my mother. All the fucking time. Oh, and Amanda just, shoves her head up fucking Carol's ass. Oh, piss off, Amanda. I'm too old for your fucking shit. I've had a gutful of her. Seriously. And then you're putting up with fucking wankers like this. They only knew me from Star Casino. It's like, mate, you're a fucking dickhead. You're a fucking dickhead. My nan's sister-in-law did, so the Roman Catholic Church there in Balmain is where my nan's sister-in-law and even mum's cousin, which is the ex-copper, little Brian, asked him. Mate, the priest came out of retirement to do Auntie Margaret Keegan's funeral. These fucking wankers that live in Balmain now don't know their ass in the elbow. It's like, you're a fucking dickhead. Oh, mate, if I see that fucking Johnny Tataro again, he's a fucking wanker. Honest to God, mate, piss off back to fucking Sicily, you fucking wanker. Oh, seriously, it's like, this is where my family's indigenous to, not yours. Fuck off. Like, the attitude of these dumb cunts in the last 9 years is like, mate, fuck off. You're a fucking wanker. If I see you again, I'll fucking headbutt you, you cunt. My fucking nan's like, I took nan to Margaret's funeral back in 2003, and it was down there, Balmain Church, because Balmain Church is where, I don't know if she was married there, but Auntie Margaret Keegan, which is Nan's brother Brian Keegan's wife, and Nan's nephew, which is little Brian, the copper. That's all that Keegan side, the Irish side of it, and so forth. They're Irish and English, and one, Nan's great-grandmother was French. Yeah, that's true. Nan's great-grandmother was French, but it was her great-grandmother. Great-grandmother married an Irishman. They had a daughter, Julia, so it's French and Irish. French and Irish daughter married an Englishman, so it's French, Irish, English. Then what was that? Mary, my great-grandmother, she married an Irishman, so it's French, Irish, English, Irish, then English. So yeah, well, that's what my nan's side is. I haven't said anything different. I know my family history, you fucking dickheads. You fucking losers. So anyway, when Nan grew up in 43 Piper Street, I shouldn't have taken Mark Hannah there. Because I often go past Nan's old place. It was sold in 1999. These wankers don't know it because they only knew me after late 2001. It's like, you're a fucking dickhead. The shit that's come out of your fucking loser mouths. And I'm like, even when I was in my 20s going, just ignore it. Like, my nan couldn't stand them. My nan Lola was like, Nan was so sick and tired of their bullshit because she's actually from that area. That's the thing. She's from Leichhardt. Like, she'll say, she was born in Wellington, New South Wales, but has no memory of it because she was only a little kid when her parents moved back home to Sydney. They're only in Wellington because that's where the racing industry was. That's what Nan said anyway. But they're all from here. Like I said, Uncle Fred was living in Bellevue Hill and bought the house in Leichhardt, and his sister, Uncle Fred's Leo Patrick Sauer, his sister, I don't know if she rented it off him or how it worked out, but my great-grandmother raised her family in the house in Leichhardt, and Uncle Fred was still living in Bellevue Hill. And he was. So, good luck to the fucking dumb cunts, man. And then you've got Balmain, you'd be saying to these wankers, it's like, where do you think Reg is from? All the country. That's funny. Reg has never been to the fucking country, you dickhead. Reginald George Purdy, my grandfather. Balmain Roselle. His father, Keith Charles Purdy. Balmain Roselle. Where the fuck you dumb cunts think my family's from? And they always go back to, Tamworth. I'm like, how the fuck are they from Tamworth, you fucking loser? When no one heard of fucking Tamworth before 1989. You're a fucking dumb cunt from the casino, and you've been told this how many times for the last 23 fucking years, you wankers. Mate, as far as I'm concerned, bring back John Howard that grabs hold of these wankers. It's like, right, you're an immigrant? Okay. You broke the law, that carries, what is it? Is it got to be a 2-year jail sentence? Deport them back to country origin, get them fuck out of here. I've never been so pissed off by a bunch of fucking wankers in all my life as I have been the last 9 years. I kid you fucking not. They're fucking dickheads. His fucking weird freaking cousin Gaetano moved to the Central Coast. I'm like, oh yeah, where my family's from? Oh, now they're from here. It's like, yeah. What do you think that is? These dickheads didn't even know that my dad was still alive. They had no idea. It's like, yeah, that's because I'm not going to introduce family members to you wankers. You're not a friend. You're just somebody that I dated. Seriously. You're just someone I fucking dated. And even if you were a friend, I'm not going to introduce my family to you because, like, a friend I'm close to, because, well, friends change. You got your family for life, like my cousins and so forth. But, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, like, you know, what, I met you once in 2002, briefly saw you out when I was clubbing. That's not a fucking friend, you wanker. Oh, fucking. Oh, and then the shit. Oh, you copied someone because they speak Italian. I didn't know them in 1995. I was speaking Italian in 1995. You fucking loser. Oh, the bullshit out of these fucking wankers' mouths. What they do? Get the gathered information from 2016? Good luck with that. Best fucking stunt I've ever pulled in my life. But they're dickheads. They're fucking, a lot of them are fucking idiots. And you put up, like, I seriously have bit my, and I'll still do it now. Oh, God. Like, he just bite my tongue. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. Oh, 1 minute he speaks French, next minute he speaks Italian, next minute he speaks Arabic. It's like, and? I also do math. I learnt math. I learnt English. I learnt French. I learnt a little bit of Lebanese, growing up and in 2000. And I learned Latin from 1984. Oh, fucking dickheads like Kimberly fucking Cito. Oh, fuck off, you fucking wankers, man. Anything affiliated with that second Delati, I'm just like, you fucking wankers. A lot of yous are a group of fucking dickheads. You're entitled fucking group of dickheads. A lot of yous. And then what else was it? French was 1992, 1993. You know, Italian, well, that's still part of the Roman Catholic when you look at Latin. I mean, back when I was at St. Aidan's in Rudy Hill, you know, when we had to learn, back in those days, you know, when you learn the different translation from the Bible, and we did at St. Aidan's. I also did when I was making my confirmation, and it was, like Father Henna. Father Henna was our family priest in Sydney. When I was born in 1979, I was baptised as soon as I came out. That's true. So that's why it says Blacktown. My birth certificate actually says on it 17th of April 1979. Because as soon as I was born, I was baptised straight away right there in the delivery room. And then wrapped up and sent to the RPA in Newtown. And when we were sent to the RPA and Amanda went into the Camperdown Children's Hospital, Pop's mother was still living in Newtown. So Lillian Steele was still living in Newtown. You tell these wankers that and they always copy and it's like, what makes your head click, you loser? You believe I'm from Tamworth. You believe that. But that's not the truth. In your fucked up world, you believe this shit that's not true. And you were told so many times 23 years ago. So you still believe shit that, and I'm looking at you fuckwits. Oh, like when I had friggin' coffee with Tony Pacello. And, you know, the conversation is like, oh, God. Yeah, but you idiots from Star were told. It's like, this is what it was like the entire time going to work there. It's like, okay, but that's not true. Like, you'd be going to work and be like, oh, fuck, this is ridiculous. Like, even this Gerard that used to work there, and he was saying once about, oh, he knows where I live because he used to go past it on the bus or something. So, you can't go past my mother's place on the bus. It's a dead-end road. You don't know. And then he was telling me he was from Dungowan. I'm like, oh, fuck, my mother's sister, who we don't have anything to do with, she moved there with her kids. They've got like a farm sort of there on the hill. Oh, so you're talking about them. Well, that's not us. Oh, look, the casino is full of fucking wankers of people. Absolutely, the ones that work there. Because it gets the barrel of all sorts of scrapings in that work for them. And when you get someone of good quality that works there, you're going to be missed because, you know, unless you're an entitled prick like these fucking wankers, you're not going to, yeah. But look, I enjoyed my job there. Same as I enjoyed the job when I was working at the Powerhouse by Ridges in Tamworth. I only went there in 1999 to work there. I wasn't living there. I was back home in Sydney. So, anyway. Look, I'm in none of pops. But, yeah, this shit that's gone on over the years, these people are fuckwits. And, like, you look at them and say, man, why? Because I'm anti-drugs? Normal people are. Normal people are anti-drugs. It's how you're raised. Sorry, your family is a fucking weirdos. Like, you know, like, Christ, if my dad ever knew I was doing drugs, even cannabis, he would freaking click me over the ear. My dad's a nice guy. He's a builder, worked his ass off. Yeah, like, seriously. It's how you're fucking raised. I know, I'll go back to what I was saying with the Central Coast. So, with the Central Coast, So when my nan was growing up, so nan was living in Leichhardt growing up, Pop's Balmain Roselle, and he was working at so before he, like when he was starting to be a butcher, when he was starting to be a butcher, he was working at White Bay service station, and nan was a clerk, because when nan was still a clerk when I got back, nan studied to be a clerk, and she was working in Glebe. Anyway, they grew up spending their summer holidays on the Central Coast. All right. So did my dad's parents. So my dad's father's from Botany Bay, even though Stanley's an orphan. He's raised by Edith Cavan in Botany Bay. Dad's mother's from Drummoyne Abbotsford, which is Ruby, my grandmother. And they used to spend their summers at a long beach as well, because it was a holiday destination. So then they got married. All right. So Stanley Fleming and Ruby Jean Hill got married. And, Lola May Keegan and Reginald George Purdy got married. Then when they grew up, like when they had their kids used to spend summers at Long Beach. All right? And which is why there's a photo of Dad and Auntie Linda as babies down at Long Beach, exactly where their parents grew up and spending their summer holidays. Exactly. And I was talking to his Uncle Tony, and exactly where my mother did. Mum's family moved up there as well, and exactly where Amanda and I spent holidays growing up is the same spot where my parents were together. So when Mark Ian Fleming and Caroline Purdy were married, Amanda and I, the holiday house that was there, and then that stage to around the early 80s, must be 83 I think it was. Stanley and Ruby Fleming, Nan and Pop moved from Parramatta to the Central Coast, so it was Bangalow Street, and then Pop passed away, and and then Nan lived her life out there and died in 2007 in Gosford Hospital, October 2007. And that's the thing. Why doesn't Amanda know this? Because Amanda wasn't around. All the family members I've grown up around, my twin sister didn't. Amanda wasn't with me. Amanda wasn't with me when I was having lunch with Ruby, my grandmother. Amanda wasn't with me when I was went to the hospital when Ruby was passing away. No, Amanda's never been with me. We've had separate upbringings. I said this, I made it very clear 9 years ago. I said Amanda and myself have had completely separate upbringings. We've had separate upbringings. Okay? Because Amanda was trapped under our mother, where I wasn't. That's basically it. So Amanda doesn't know anything, and it's like, well, why? Well, she was always with Carol. She was always running around the horse show. And that's the reason why. So she was trapped under our mother. So Amanda has no idea. Even I've made this, like when I said, well, I was the one that was at Piper Street more than anyone. It's like, well, how, like even Mum and Marianne and we get the shit. It's like, how? Nan, meaning Mary, my great-grandmother, which is Lola's mother, I was closest to growing up. Everybody knows this. You go and ask one of the old family members that's still alive, like Mum's cousin, and I used to sit right near the armchair near Big Nan. Now, when the fight happened because Mum remarried in 1988, in 1989, Big Nan moved back into the inner city and moved back to where she raised my little Nan, Lola, in 43 Piper Street, Leichhardt. She moved in with her brother. Okay? So I was the closest to her. Now, Reginald George Purdy felt guilty about that, and I was always at Nan and Pop's by myself. No one else there. Myself and Nan and Pop, Reg and Lola. And there'll be times when Pop would go, oh, come on, Lola, let's take Justin sees Nan. And we'll go into Leichhardt. Because Pop, I swear it was because he felt guilty, because he felt the blame because why Big Nan moved back into the city. And, well, he's not the blame, it's my mum that's the fault. She's the one that caused all this trouble. Like, she's caused all this trouble since 1988, since she married Mark Rackley, and then 1989 since she moved from Sydney. She's caused it all, and she's still causing it now. And I'll tell you what, Reg and Lola had the shiz, like they used to say, we're friggin' sick and tired of hearing about friggin' Tamworth and sick and tired of hearing about friggin' the Rackleys. I'll tell you what, I'm the same. I couldn't care. Oh, I've got to live around the bastards. I've got fucking people from New England living below me. The fucking ass. Like, seriously, it's like, are you kidding me? Mate, if my grandfather was alive, he would be pulling you out by the scruff of your neck going, piss off. There's your little country town. Piss off, mate. Oh, my grandfather could. Like, Pop had to deal with him when he was buying and selling horses through Homebush Bay sale yards, and he used to hate country people with a passion. So did Nan Lola. I mean, that Nan used to say, Justin, I've got to deal with him for the racing industry. Like, when you're buying and selling horses, hated them with a passion. Hated them. Like, they're city people, my grandparents. And we did. We had horses around Sydney. Oh, you'd be telling these fucking wankers of people, it's like, telling you the truth, you don't believe me, you look like a fucking idiot. And I know why you don't believe me. It's because you were dragged up with some poor, like the Delatis were dragged up povo. Like the povo of poor type people. It's like, oh, yeah, what, you got some inheritance for the... Okay, I'm not saying this to be nasty. I'm saying to be true. It's like, so that's why you don't believe me with my upbringing, because you can't see anything outside of your own upbringing. You know, it's like me saying, well, I never understood why people wouldn't have a swimming pool growing up. And that's actually a statement that I did make, that I was saying it over the top, but I was actually serious. Because I used to say to Nan and Pop in Kerry Road, and because, look, they didn't have a swimming pool in Leichhardt because it was a courtyard at the back. So I was not going to ask a stupid question there. But when I was over in Kerry Road in Blacktown at Nan's, like I said, as a kid, I said, how come you don't have a swimming pool? And Nan said, don't be ridiculous, or scare the pigeons. There was a like, could you imagine your father, meaning your grandfather, Reg, having a pool here? I wouldn't stop whinging about the pigeons. My Nan was like, I would like a hot tub type thing. That's what she said. But we had a swimming pool, Arnie's had a swimming pool, even though my cousin Shane Childs filled his swimming pool up with yubbies, and he was weird. He was always camping and collecting things. He was involved in wildlife and animals and stuff. My mum's sister's son. Oh, you think, was it crawl bobbing? Oh, because I mean, we went once, it's like, you can't use a swimming pool. He's chucked a heap of, I'm like, what are these? It's like friggin' stuff to do with mud lobster or something. I don't know. Some shit. Used to go always hunting and fishing, and oh no, he was a weirdo. Mum's sister's son. He was just a fucking weirdo. I mean, look, you probably thought I was a weirdo because I was always in the theatre and art gallery. But anyway, each to their own, I guess. I thought he was a weirdo. Yeah, I was always in the theatre and art gallery growing up. I did modelling after school for school activity and so forth. And I did. I was never involved in fucking wildlife. Oh, these wankers. I should hear the shit out of these dumb cunts in Sydney. And I was like, so I don't being a smart ass, I was like, this Stephanie DeSalis fucking idiot that used to social media stalk me. It's like, oh, we had a farm. Like, no, we had landscape gardens and stable complex. We had thoroughbred hacks. It's not a farm. We bred horses, mate. We had horses worth more money than your fucking car. It wasn't a farm. Like, my thoroughbred hack was worth more money when I sold. His name was Sam, and I had Sam since a teenager, so don't even start shit there. His stable name was Sam, and when was I? I would have been, I remember because the Royals were still up here in Moore Park, and I had to educate this hack when we didn't have that. We had Town Gossip, which was Bobby, and we had Mirror Booker Night Rider, which was Kane, and then Sam was a young yearling that I had to educate up. And only when I had time. I couldn't let the other hacks down, but Sam's the one I owned. And I called him Sam. I remember why I called him Sam, actually. But that was his stable name, Sam. So just give him an easy name for a stable name, but his show name was Makar High Flyer, or Makar Flying High. His initial name was supposed to be Makar High Flyer. Anyway. And brought from Greg Keys when I was a teenager. And I educated him up. And when I sold him in 2005, I sold him for more money than what my BMW was sold for. So there you go. So I said that my thoroughbred hack was worth more money than my BMW. And that's the fucking truth. Well, these wankers, you look at them, it's like, yeah, okay. If my mum sold a horse, okay, or, it's like, yeah, man, your life's pleb. Your life's pleb. And that's where I can't stand, and like what I've said is the fucking truth. It's like, okay, that's where I can't stand Rebecca Johnson. Oh, I love it. She's a fucking dickhead. Oh, because they're so jealous of our fucking life, and I'm like, oh, I fucking hate it with this shit. We don't have to be polite to you. Your mum's dead. Your mum's my dad's sister. She's dead. Your dad's a fucking wanker. So they grow up. This is what they're freaking like fucking Rebecca. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. So you only did a nice thing to socialise with them because, Dad was close to them. Because Dad was close to their mother. And as soon as I find out if Dad's not close, I'm like, oh, I'm not fucking visiting. They're just fucking breeders. Have 4 kids and freaking, oh, we're Aussie battlers. It's like, no, you're not. Oh, I love this. Turn around, she goes, oh, you think, you're this or you're that, but you're not born with a silver spoon in your mouth. I'm like, oh, that's what she said once. It's like, no. And I was there going, bite your fucking back teeth, Justin. Because if you start an argument with this cousin, your dad won't talk to you. That's what I was thinking to myself. I'm like, you fucking bitch. And it's like, want to say no, but we weren't fucking dragged up plebs like you because of your fucking father. Oh, I can't fucking stand her. Oh, it's because it's the Barry Johnson, her fucking father. That fucking side of the family. Don't get me started. Seriously, and I'll tell you what, Nan, Ruby used to tell me some stuff about that side of the family and the arguments that it caused. She goes, because Nan used to always say to me, I don't want this before you were born. Don't want this before you were born. And because I asked Nan, I'm a teenager, I'm going to Nan in Bangalow Street, which is with her second husband, and I'm there saying, so Nan, like, what happened? She goes, oh, it's before, because Nana was really nice. She goes, Amanda and you are my birthday present. Because Nan's birthday was the 18th of April and we're the 17th. And she says, oh, I don't want you to know. It's before you twins were born. And I'm like, no, tell me. And she goes, well, this is what the Johnsons were like. And it's because Stanley, her first, like my pop, he wasn't happy with the way his behaviour, his drinking. So Stanley, my grandfather, hated the drinking, the alcohol. It was beautiful. And so Nan told me, said, this is what happened. This is the fight that got caused. And it's before you were born, has been divided since. And your dad took Auntie Sandra's side. And that's what Nan said. And that was it. The family divided. So I've heard everyone's story and can make my own mind up. And I can look at a situation, even though I wasn't around, and go, well, yeah, I can see that. And then you can hear, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And they're jealous. They're jealous because they're like, well, we're Aussie battlers. It's like, you're not a fucking Aussie battler. But all things very much. Difference is, I love my Auntie Sandra, so I'm not going to say anything negative about it, but she married the wrong man. She married, okay, fine, your father was a builder, but he was a drunk. Uncle Barry Johnson was a drunk. And Aunt Sandra, she looked after kids for a living. So difference between the fact that my dad's a builder and my mother was a paralegal. And we had more. And if you look at your dad's parents compared to my mother's parents, different people. If you look at your dad's, grandparents compared to my mum's grandparents, different people. So when you want to start shit and say, wasn't born with a silver spoon in your mouth, no. But I did ride around on horses that were worth close to $10,000 20 years ago. Yeah. So more than what your car's worth, love. When you want to start slinging shit. Because they really do. It's like that grind. It's like, fuck. Go pop out another fucking kid. Your house is in a friggin' mess. You got friggin' breeding friggin' everywhere. You get to a point where you leave and it's like, can't deal it. Seriously, can't do it anymore. It's like, fucking hell. You rub me the wrong way. And they do. And you can be polite so much. See, I'm getting on my tangent now. You can be polite so much to some people, but it's like, yeah, I love you. Yeah, we're related, but for fuck's sakes, when you come out with shit like that, and I turn around to them and say, yeah, but you do know that my nan's family was rich. Because even Nan used to sit there and say, even Pop used to say, yeah, won the lottery with Lola. And Nan's like, oh, well, this is what happens when you marry poor. And I used to say, yeah, her mother's family was rich, but you marry poor. Your grandfather was poor. He's not poor. Like she said, had a trade. Well, then she used to turn around when Mum used to get this bullshit. They used to say, Mum used to turn around and say, oh, they grew up working class. And I love this. When Nan really used to get the shits here and that, she's like, right, Carol. Oh, yes. And she would point with her crooked finger. Right, Carol, I've had a gut full of this. We weren't working class. No working class people, I should do it really good. No working class people have horses. Okay? You had the best horses money could buy. You went to ballroom dancing lessons and you had tennis lessons. No working class people have tennis lessons. And that's what Nan said. She said, Justin, we weren't, like the way your mother's making this out. Like, it was the most sweetest thing. She goes, I was a clerk. And I love when she used to get the shits. And she was like, to give up her, like that's like, I gave up my job to raise them in Grateful. And she used to do this like in Grateful. I gave up my job as a clerk to raise my family because that's what was done. And your grandfather was a butcher, he had a trade. So we weren't the working class dragged up, like, didn't have some crappy job type thing. Your grandfather, your father, Pop, was a butcher. I was like, all right, Nan, this didn't get Nan so upset. because she hated the way Mum used to play this, oh, down and out, and then she'd go, look what your mother's got. Oh, doesn't like isn't she embarrassed? She walks around going, oh, but we're like this, and then she drives a truck that's worth almost 100,000. Like Nan, Lola used to say that. She'd say like, doesn't she think she's a fucking idiot? Like seriously, it's like so. Then she pulls up at a horse show with this flash truck that's worth almost 100,000, and she's there going, "Oh yeah, but you know, it's like you're an idiot, Carol. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Like seriously, best horses, best horse gear. So yeah, and your mother went to ballroom dancing lessons and tennis lessons. So yeah, I used to piss both. I mean, but Pop. By the time Pop was older, he used to just go down the backyard to the pigeon boxes, and that was it. Just let him know when your mum's left. That's what it was like. Let me know when your mother's left. Oh, he used to have a migraine for about 2 weeks after my mother left. Oh, that poor man. That's why I reckon he died young. He was like, I can't do it anymore, so I'm exiting out. See you later. No, I'm done. Like, I used to go and visit him every time he had to have his chemo and radiation therapy in Concord Hospital. And we're sitting there. Anyway, I remember the time when he passed away, because the week before, he had the Maltese Joe over helping him do stuff in the pigeon boxes. And I came over the week before, the Sunday before, and I'm in Kerry Road, and he's pulling apart the pigeon boxes and redoing them in the backyard. And the week after that, he passed away, in Concord Hospital. And it was to do with a white blood cell counts or something. So the radiation and chemotherapy did something, and he had pneumonia, and he ended up passing away from that. I nursed him right all night. Like I actually had my arm. So if he's laying in the bed, say that's say his head's say that's his head there, and that's the wall behind him. I was on, so his right side here, my arm around him here. I was just watching the monitor all night, and you could see it dropping down and down and down till he died. And then Nan said he passed away in my arms with a mask on, a breathing mask, which he never wanted to. And Nan said, come on, take me out for a cigarette. So I went out there, and she goes, you're going to have to move in. I said, what? Because the last thing so my Nana's the only her husband just died. He's upstairs, not even cold yet, dead upstairs in Concord Hospital. And Nan's first words were, they're going to make me move. They're going to force me to move. I need you to, and I'm living at Manly at the time. And they're like, I need you to move. I was like, all right, but I'll renovate the harness shed, Nan, because I can't live in the main house. And I did. So anyway, I was only there a year, not even a year, and they forced her to move. But my attitude, so Nan's was, my daughters are going to force me to move, and my attitude was, I can't be around you now and then that Pop's dead. No one's going to keep Marion, Robin and Mum in line. How can I be around you? Because Pop would keep them in line. I said, I can't be around you. That way that they're feral. And that's it. She goes, no, don't you dare do that to me. And I was like, don't you do that to me? I was like, I can't be around you guys anymore. Pop's not alive to keep him in line. What am I going to do? I literally at 2002 was like, that's fucking it. I'll fucking marry my house girl. I bet you she's one that's probably sucked up that Sam Delati's ass. Good luck to them. They're fucking wankers. Oh, I love it, because you can see when dickheads know mum's side, or you got mum's side getting the scamming bullshit behaviour like they do, and they find people who don't know anything about me that they can manipulate. But they know that have been briefly in my life once. It's like, oh, good, we can manipulate this person. It's like, yeah, good. I look at that person going, you're fucked. You're fucked, because you better hope I don't know any information about you, because I'll use it against you and fuck you over, just for the simple fact that you are what... My dumb cunt mother's family manipulated you. Seriously, that's why I don't keep friends. Wait till they're dead. My mother and her sisters are dead, which, I'll be popping so many bottles of Verve when they are. I can tell you now. Ding dong, the witch is dead is what my pop said to play at Mum's funeral. Mum reckons I'm not going to turn up to her funeral. Bullshit. Her father told me, you make sure you go and play Ding Dong, the witch is dead. When she dies, don't, and we're laughing. Seriously, Nan, Lola, myself, and Rachel pissed themselves laughing. He's like, I'm telling you now, you better do it. You go to your mother's funeral, you play Ding Dong, the witch is dead. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to do this. Oh, I can't wait for Mum to drop dead. Oh, we're like, Ding Dong, the witch is dead. But yeah, Ding Dong, the bitch is dead. Like, yeah, pop. So it's my mum's parents that were telling me to do it. Like, you make sure you play it. I'm like, oh, well, don't you worry. Oh, Mum thinks, oh, he won't come back to my funeral. Fucking hurry up and die. We've planned your funeral back when your parents were alive. Seriously, Nan and Pop and myself sat around planning Mum's funeral when they were like, oh, we're like, well, hopefully she'll do us a favour and drop dead so we can have some life. Seriously, I can't believe she had the audacity to stay alive and didn't die before her parents. Fucking hell. Like, no one really cares about my mother and my sisters. They're freaking, even by the time my grandparents were older, like the stuff that I heard, they're like, nah. You can clearly tell they did not want daughters. So anyway, so yeah, that's one thing. I love it because I'll sit back and be like, oh yeah, this is going to be fantastic. Mum's there going, well, you won't even turn up my funeral. I'm like, hell, I won't. I made a promise to Pop that I'm going to play Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. And I'm going to play Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. No one's going to stop me. Once Mum drops dead, which hurry up and fucking do it. I'll be blasting. I want massive big subwoofers and speakers going, Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. Change the wish to bitch. Ding Dong, the bitch is dead. And that's for Mum's father. So Reginald George Purdy said, make sure you go to a funeral and play Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. Yeah. So yeah, my grandparents. I was close to my grandparents. I'm not fucking close to my mother and her fucking sisters, I can tell you now. But yeah, and these fucking idiots. Oh, I can imagine that. Oh, wait. I know what the bullshit that Carol would have gone to John Turturro and said to, and all the other wankers. And it's like, oh, yes. I'm not an idiot. You know, oh, he's done this to make himself look like this. I'm like, that's not true. That's a massive big fable. I can tell you the truth of things, but yeah, you guys are doing good when it comes to defamation of character. You're lucky that I don't know anything about you. Oh, wait a minute. I do know stuff about you. And this is why I did this whole prank from 2016 to 2018. I was like, all right, you think you're entitled to involve yourself in my life. So I'm a character of a person that's pretty much got Reg, my grandfather, in me a lot. It's like, right, you think you're entitled, huh? Oh, you're involved in criminal behaviour. Like Sam Delati's involved in criminal behaviour. His partner, the nurse, which is what's his name, Neil. You've got Johnny Turturro. The lovers, my hairdresser. When I'm just looking at all these people going, wow. I mean, I do like when you walk around some places, you know stuff about people. It's like, oh, we have to keep, well, you know, yeah, blinkers on. Going, oh, I didn't hear that. No, whatever. You're doing what? I don't want to know. Don't want to know. And then I was like, fuck this. So I was like, biggest cunt. It's like, well, I don't need friends. Oh, I don't need friends. But you involved yourself in my life because you think you're entitled. Do you want to keep going down this path? Do you want to listen to fuckwit family members? Or, let me see. Entrapment. Oh, Stephanie DeSalis knows all about entrapment. She texted me about it last year. Say, the entrapment didn't work. It's like, what do you mean it didn't work? Of course it's worked. I just haven't got you. Just because you're not arrested yet doesn't mean it's not worked, you fucking dickhead. Yeah, the entrapment's worked. It worked beautifully from all these people. So what are you talking about? The entrapment fucking worked. Just because you're not arrested yet doesn't mean it hasn't worked. But didn't you see the acting scene I did around Woolloomooloo? Are you people that blind? You didn't see... Wait. You didn't see me on the balcony, because I know you did. I know you did. That's why I was deliberately going, I've lost everything. I've lost everything. I've looked behind the fridge and under the sofa. What, you didn't... Sorry, wait. You didn't see that? No? Really? You could afford me. Oh, wait. You didn't see... I just want to go home. You didn't see that? You didn't? Are you sure? Now, are you sure? You still want to say the entrapment didn't work? Do you really want to say the entrapment didn't work? Because I can tell you now it did. Because I put on one of the best acting scenes I could do. Oh, wait. Nana. Oh, hi, Nana Ruby. I don't remember. This is Lavinia. Sorry. Okay, for those who don't know, there's this person, Lavinia. I met her and a friend, Craig. Anyway, she kept coming over to me and it's like, oh, the little dog's the baby. It's like, yeah, let me just do my. I have a speech impediment because I'm mentally retarded. Yes, I always wanted a son, and God gave me a dog instead. You remind me of my nana baby. So tell me again that the entrapment didn't work, because it fucking worked. Yes, because you're not arrested yet, you dumb cunts, doesn't mean the entrapment hasn't worked. Oh, too bad, so sad. Did you really think I wanted friends? Yeah, that was the other acting scene. Oh, too bad. Oh, wait, hang on. Walking around. I shake with the left hand because it's close to the heart. Oh, please, people, tell me the entrapment didn't work, because I think I got you to break the law. So tell me again. And then what did my mother say? Oh, let it go. Oh, you know, why do you let it bother you? You've got your money and assets still from when you're working at Star Casino. You've got your green card. Just go and live your life. I was like, oh, you're right. What's the point trying to get these fuckwits back? They're just losers of people anyway. So I moved to America because I've had a green card since 2014. It wasn't greyhound therapy. It wasn't therapy. It wasn't escaping and trying to get away from people. No. It was the simple fact that I've got a green card to America since 2014. So it wasn't what I was telling Mark Henner and playing a prank on the fucking idiot. He was just a fuck buddy thing. And it wasn't, you gotta come to America with me, because I want to say to us is some weird shit. It's just, why are you going to America? Because America can handle PTSD and Australia can't. What the fuck you talking about? I don't have PTSD. Oh wait, because this is all acting. Then he asked again. I already answered you the first time. I'm not going to keep repeating myself, so I'm just joking around. Because, this was, I'm going to join the military. Oh, I'm going to, because I've got no friends in Australia, and all my friends are in America. I was saying shit like this, it was fucking hilarious. What was the other one? Hang on. Oh god, this is so funny. I'm going to Disneyland. That's fun. That's okay. That is I can't take credibility for that. I got that monologue from AbFab. Okay, I got it from AbFab. But that was still good. What was the other one? Hang on. This is fucking awesome, because I was going to get back on all these organisations, the fucking losers. Fuck, what was it? There was another one. Oh god. Oh, can't think. But I was just saying this shit the fuck over these people. It's like, you're a fucking loser. You think I don't know I'm getting monitored and surveillanced? Please. And I do know this as well. Anything that comes from illegal monitoring, surveillance and gathering information through any illegal taps, things like this, you can't use. I've always been a fucking cunt. I don't know why people would think anything other from me. I would put my own twin sister in jail. Like, fucking serious. So I love when this Stephanie DeSalis said, oh, the entrapment didn't work. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean the entrapment didn't work? Of course the entrapment worked, you fucking moron. I've got you guys, I had you guys believing I was, running around like, I've got to go to the airport. I had her fucking running around. So it's like, the entrapment worked. Just because you're not arrested doesn't mean the entrapment hasn't worked. It fucking worked. You dickheads. I've proved that there was monitoring and surveillance, everything I told Giovanni I was going to set out to do in 2016. I proved defamation of character and slander. Just because I haven't got a good enough solicitor yet to actually get things moving forward, yeah, it worked. You're fucked. Oh, God. And I had so much fun doing it too. Oh, losers. And prying. At the very least, the law of prying. So being in an area of someone's employment, resident, or socials area where they're socializing with the intent to monitor, surveillance, and pry into that person's life is a criminal offence that is taken seriously by the courts due to basic human rights or privacy laws. And people are meant to be jailed for that. So you can't actually do that. I wouldn't let my own family member do it, let alone someone I'm not related to. Oh, and then if you know me, you would know that, well, I can't stand socialism and communism. I can't stand social workers. Seriously. I've said this many years ago. There's a joke that said about solicitors, and I think, no, sorry, solicitors are useful. It's like, what do you call 1,000 solicitors at the bottom of the ocean? And the punchline is a good start. I'm like, I don't agree with that. Because I find solicitors and barristers to be very useful. But I'll turn this around and say, what do you consider, 1 million social workers and support workers at the bottom of the ocean? That's an even better start. You get to know me, you know that, in the scheme of things, you don't have any value to me. It's not like, where's my shared portfolio that I just had out the other day because I had to put some of my shares in the bank the other day. What have I got here? So I actually had to go and, I'm not going to show it on here, but some of my shares I actually had to deposit in the bank the other day. So it's not like you're going to go and pay me dividends like my shares. Yeah. What are you? You're a person. There's a dime a dozen. I can move to friggin' Atlantic City and meet another new group of friends. In the scheme of things, you don't have any value to me. You don't go up in value like rare antiques and collectibles. You don't pay dividends like my shares. So tell me, what value do you have to me? You're a person. You're expendable. You're a dime a dozen. And that's it. So please, take your socialism and communist behaviour and play that bullshit on somebody that thinks your little group and organisation crap is something worth of any value. Me, well, haven't I made that clear even back 20 odd years ago that I don't give a shit? I easy drop people. It's like, well, it's not like, let me look at the situation I'm here. If socialising with you is, and I love the bullshit from these people like Sam Delights and all these wankers when I was living in Manly. They're all made up fucking stories. Like, I was renting a room in Manly and next minute, I'm living, because I was living with some older guy. I'm like, I'm living with some older guy that I knew from when I was, from other, I don't know him well, and I'm renting, he was hardly living there, he was working away in Melbourne, and it was a good deal. But they were making up fucking shit. These people, it's because they're povo people. They're povo people that can't have friends outside of that little sort of povo circle of where they are. They can't see what it's like to have older friends. It's like, I've got a lot of older friends. I think they're more mature than someone like that Sam Delati. Even people like, and I don't have any problem with people from the country. Like my grandfather used to get, I don't. I had older friends in the country too. I love the crap that was said in the last 9 years. I'm like, that's weird. Oh, sorry, did you think 2016 was real? Oh, the bullshit to Peter Fry? Oh, when Peter Fry told me that he was monitoring, the first thing that Peter Fry, I'm going to leave it there because it's almost an hour and I want to keep it under an hour. The first thing, this guy, I'm walking my dog, and I'd had a gut for being lied about since October 2015. Remember this. So come 2016, I'm walking my dog, minding my own business around Reg Oval side of Rushcutters Bay Park. Sorry, Baxter. This guy walks straight up to me, starts going on about the friggin' dog and Brett Aikenhead, and goes, I'm a good friend of Brett Aikenhead's. Like, that's fucking it. That's fucking it. Because I've really had a gut full of fucking social media stalkers. The bullshit across social media, I'm just like, we should catch up. What are you doing tonight? What I want to do is get a shitload of photos, chuck them across social media, go fishing, that's what I call it, and see who's going to bite. So let's just make this a show. You fuckwits put on a show for me. I'm just a better actor. Seriously. Don't know the guy from Barrow Soap, and I was like, right, fuck this cunt. What the fuck's going on? So I'm going to get to the bottom of it. One way or the other, I'm going to fuck over everybody, and people can stand back and go, oh, maybe we should have listened to Justin over the years when he said, don't fuck with him. Just like the drop. was it? The character that's played by one of my favourite British actors. Yeah, they're never going to see you coming. It's like, of course not. I can play mentally retarded if you like. Oh, I played like I was high on drugs. Like that's well, IGA. I was trying to pretend I was high on drugs. It didn't work. Some idiots it backfired. But did it really backfire? Has it? Has it really? Have I still fucked over these people? And that was because I wanted Mark Hanna to believe that I was a drug user. Because basically, if you use illicit drugs in Australia, it's a 2-year jail sentence. Why would I be that character person? And not only that, I wanted to prove, and I set out, I wanted to prove monitoring, surveillance, illegal bugging and tracking and so forth bullshit. So how would I prove it unless I had to put on that? It's like, seriously, I just live my life normally. It would have just stopped. It was like, no. I asked the solicitor, it's like, okay, but if I need to take this legally, it's like, well, you can't take it legally by hearsay. You're going to have something written down. Like, so in a document? Yeah, someone's going to make a statement to another organisation and you've got to see it written down. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. Literally, that's what it was like in 2015 when I was ringing up solicitors. It's like, oh, okay, so all I've got to do is get someone to put it in writing. Oh, it's simple. Why don't you say that to begin with? You haven't seen me fucking act yet. Righto. You've given me, it's like, okay, right, this is good. You've given me a, what was it? I can do this. So here we go, let's set out. Like I said to people, have a look at me. Like there's a video footage of myself down in Bill's in Crown Street in Surrey Hills. New Year's Day, 2016. I'm there with my dog. She's having a good time. So, I look fine. How could I go from that to mentally retarded like that? Or using drugs like that? Because I didn't. It was acting. It's brilliant acting. I loved it. And I did tell Giovanni Cantava, I said, go and watch the film I did in 2007 or in 2006, because I'm going to use some of these lines. I've done this to get these people. You should have told the truth. You should have told the truth. I will fuck it over for everybody, and I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, well, it wasn't me. I didn't friggin' start this shit in my life, so I don't care. I care more about my BMW. I care more about my car than I would some of my own family members. They'll be like, well, I do actually. I cared more about my car than my own family. Oh yeah, I love my car. Seriously, you hear me harp on that I miss my beautiful antique okay, here's the thing. I did grow up with... was Carol going to make up shit again? Oh, God, her bullshit's so tiring. Oh, we didn't have this, we didn't have that. It's like, get fucked. What Uncle Fred gave you, remember that beautiful marble pedestal they used to sit in the foyer with the marble vase sitting on top of it? I remember when I was dancing around the lounge room, I knocked it over and it smashed the vase. That vase sat in broken pieces in the shed for ages. Don't tell me you didn't have nice things. We had nice furniture. Dad always had beautiful antiques too. Now he hasn't got much. What do I care about more? Oh, what do you hear me talking about all the time? Well, back in 2006 at Lawson's, that's near the roundabout in Glebe there, that beautiful solid mahogany Edwardian cabinet from 1910 with maker's marks on it, because I've got the details from the maker where it came from in the UK. So it's not just some piece of shit from fucking Harvey Norman. It's not some shit from Harvey Norman. It's come from a 1910 maker from the UK. There's a stunning piece of furniture. There's that. There's the 1930s, 1940s French wingback cigar chairs. There's that. You hear me talking about that. The Victorian music chair, the theatre style, beautiful round inside the machine age Art Deco. You hear me talking about the 1880s Louis XIV style marble top commode. What else? Oh, my nana, Ruby's dinner set. I love that dinner set. Oh, the willow pattern. But it's the Churchill willow pattern. It was a beautiful Churchill. It was my nan's grandmother, I think, from memory. And all I know is Uncle George said that dinner set came with his grandmother. Hang on. Yes, his father's mother brought it from the UK, because they're from Southampton. So Nan's grandmother. Yeah, it says Nan's grandmother's dinner set. What am I saying? So Nan's grandmother brought it from Southampton, although when she was with her husband, they were in London, because her husband's from London. And then they moved to Dunedin, New Zealand. They brought this beautiful furniture and dinner set with them. There's a china cabinet and this dinner set. And it went from London to Dunedin, New Zealand. and then Dunedin, New Zealand to Willara, because that's where they moved to, and that's where Frank Edward Hill, my nan's father, moved to. And he married Ada Gray, my nan's mother, in Willara. And then they moved and raised their family in Abbotsford, because Ada Gray's family is from Abbotsford. And so it went all this way to Abbotsford. Then it went from Abbotsford to Parramatta, or Parramatta area, which is where my dad was raised. Then it went from Parramatta to the Central Coast. Then it was in the holiday house at the Central Coast. And when they sold that in 2015, my Aunt Linda said, "Oh, do you want this?" Because I loved it. Tablecloths and beautiful dinner sets. Well, that's in the US. So you hear me talking about that, but do you ever say, "Oh God, I missed my family"? Oh, I miss Dad. Yeah, so I go, God, we used to hang out a lot with Dad. But do you ever hear me say? What do you hear me say I miss the most? There you go. There's your answer. There's your answer. What have I always said that I miss the most? Well, you've got your answer. So don't fuck with me, because I will easily fuck back. And I'm the better actor.